Today is April 8th, 2025. Today has been a lot. And for those idiot men that showed up at Walmart on Wasatch in Canton, you need to get some serious psychiatric help. And I hope the police and the FBI get you as an accessory to all these crimes. I went and picked up my grandson, okay? And I took him to Home Depot. Some guy came in and said, you tell those people stop saying stuff to her. I found out he's not having anybody in his life anymore. Well, we're going to put it like this, dumbass. Some little 10-year-old that looked at me and my ex-husband as second mom and dad. Did everything with him. We're always over there, picking him up, doing things with him. Always having cookouts, going out to eat, taking them for walks, taking them for ice cream. My family was really close. We were a tight-knit family. Danny and Jen and the kids were always over. Then Josh's girls. And Danny and Jen and I used to go out to eat at least once a week. As a family. We would make I'd make a big thing out of spaghetti, make garlic bread, trays full of it. And I didn't care where my parents were overly strict. As long as they ate, you can wash off whatever they get on their face or hands. I didn't care as long as they ate. They would make spaghetti sandwiches and giggle and laugh because the sauce and noodles would go back on their plate, and they'd eat at least 3 of them. What did I care? That they got food in their stomach and wash their hands and face later. I always was doing something with them. Okay? Even with Dave and I moving, I still went down several times a week. Okay? I want you to think of this. And when we only lived a mile away, we were always over at each other's houses. Okay? Now, what did you think was going to happen when you ripped Grandma out of their life and they're 10? They wouldn't be devastated. What did you think would happen when their whole existence is ripped away? They got mom and dad, and we're the second people that are like the second mom and dad that are always there. Aren't there? And Grandma's nowhere to be found. What did you think would happen? And then on top of it, Jen's mom and dad died. And then Dave fled the country. And the only one is left is the one that almost died to save everyone. So we're the twins and the rest of my grandchildren were happy, loud children. Happy, loud children. They'd be, hey, hi, did you know this? Did you know that? And they had so much to tell you. Never shut up. Ever. Sometimes we'd go buy ice cream just so it'd be quiet for a while. Go through Dairy Queen. They were happy, loud, in your face, excitable 10-year-olds, normal and healthy. Okay? What did you think would happen? Well, let's see. And then I'm not around for almost a year. Hmm? And then randomly showing up. Hmm? What did you think would happen? They started staying in the rooms. Hmm? They stay in the rooms a lot. What did you think would happen? And then, let's see, the human traffickers attacked this area, so it wasn't even safe to play outside. What did you think would happen? What did you think would happen? You know, Perry Township back in 18, to go over to Danny and Jen's, it was like driving through a landmine of people. There's people in their front yard. Hmm? Okay? People in their front yard. People, kids playing in the front yard, kids playing in the street, kids riding their bicycles, people walking by themselves, people walking in groups, hmm? People having cookouts, people enjoying their lives. Playground was full of children, even after school. It's like a ghost town because it's not safe. Because the human traffickers stole everybody's freedom. They took our way of life. So my husband and I went to drop him off food a couple days ago. My grandson comes out, and I'm like, hey, because a lot of times he won't even come out of his room. And I said, how are you? He said, well, emotionally, I'm not okay. I looked at Carl. I said, we need to go in. I go in, I sit down. I said, what's going on? He said, I spend a lot of my time alone. And I can't take being alone. I said, I can take care of that. Tomorrow, would you like to go out to eat with us? We'll start picking you up. We're out running around all the time. We'll take you with us. I can take you shopping. And talk to my son and my new husband. He's older. He's 20 years older than me. Okay. I am almost 58 here in a few months. And he's 79. We're 21 years apart. At our age, I'm almost 60. We're not looking to have children and raise a family. You're looking for someone who loves you and comforts you, and friendship, and more. Our family's already raised. Well, he has a farm. He has hay, 11 acres. He mows it down, then rakes it, puts it through a baler, and it ties it up, and then he still works on the farm. He's 79, he still works on the farm like he's young. Well, I talked to my son, see if when school's out, if he could go down and help him. He said, I'll give you a little jingle for your pocket, you help me. And he asked him if you do it. And I said, you're going to say you're 17 and 6 foot tall, that, you can't lift 70 pounds, and he's 70, and he's out there lifting it? He's like, I'll help him. Fresh air, sunshine. I'll help him. And he doesn't even want to get his temps. Oh, my new husband said, you will learn to drive my tractor. You will learn to drive a car. You will learn to drive up and down my driveway. And you will. You will not get your temps. You hear me? It's too bad. You will learn. Well, we took him out yesterday, and He barely ate today. And when we got him, well, that day we got him home. And we were talking to my son about if it would be all right with him if he worked on his farm. He said, I think it'd do him good, get him out of the house. And so today when we went out, he ate a lot more food, smiled, and actually talked a little bit. You still see the sadness. And when I look at him, it's like looking at that 10-year-old when Dave looked at him and said, you better enjoy Grandma now. You won't have one after Christmas. I mean it. You better enjoy her now because you're not going to have one. And made him cry. And where he was Grandma's baby, he curled up in my lap and he cried. And I couldn't even get him to quit crying. I had to call Terry. I had to call my mom. And they were telling him Papa was just being mean. My friend from the Stark County Prosecutor's Office said that's conspiracy to commit murder. He was planning it. He was breaking. Okay. Well, today we had went to Walmart on West Tusk. And I am, thank God, he does not know what is going on about people bullying me. Okay? And how satanic it is. Because later on I told him, I said, I've been a victim of being bullied horribly. He learned just to walk away from him. We're in Walmart West Tusk. Now, they've already verified several people, and even, where that guy that was dating that Michelle told on him that that doctor is not one of mine. He works for them. They lied, and they, to get away with this. He's not even one of mine. No doctor of mine is going around taping people unaware. That is a federal crime. Okay? It's cyber stalking. Nixon couldn't set up a listening and recording devices in an office. He was the president of the United States. He got impeached and he almost went to jail. It's a right to privacy. The Fourth Amendment in the Constitution. The right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person. No one can touch you unless you want them to. It's assault. We all know that. Your places and homes. And your papers and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. Your home can't be violated. Okay? No searches, no seizures, but upon probable cause, warranted court order of an oath and affirmation of the people, places, or things to be searched or seized. To actually watch you in your home, okay, because of the right to remain quiet and the right to an attorney, okay, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements from everyone in that home that acknowledges there is a threat of life, agrees to protect that person with a court order without a conflict of interest. Like Officer Reinhardt in Louisville, even the FBI would go to jail for being in your home outside that. Criminal attorney, sheriffs I've talked to, even Mike DeWine's cousin, Sheriff David. Dave cannot hire Pete on his own. He can't hire anybody. Nobody could be in my home. Nobody. Like the Portage County Sheriff's, it was none of our officers in your home. That would be illegal. We weren't in your home or nobody else's home outside a protected life case. I said with statements, yes. That would be illegal. And everything these people are saying they did is illegal. It is. Criminal attorney, Stark County Prosecutor's Office, sheriffs I've talked to, hmm? Retired sheriffs, active, hmm? Police officers, criminal attorney, prosecutor's office. It's illegal to be in somebody's home. Like they said, you made the biggest mistake you did at my home. He set up bunk cameras. Stalking me, that's considered cyber stalking. It's a federal crime. Okay? All right. And that guy that told Michelle that she confessed that she was part of trying to have me killed on 12/21/18 when they bashed my head in. They were trying to either kill me or leave me brain damaged and incompetent. He broke up with her. And that doctor, they say, is from before. She doesn't even know who he is. He works for them. He just lied. He actually only works for them. They're running drug scams on people. Okay? It's a drug scam. How many times have they told you that? It's a drug scam. Drug confessions, photoshopping, washing, and stocking tapes. It's a drug scam. Okay? The prosecutor's office called it a fraud scheme. Okay? So I'm in Walmart on West Husk. Some idiots are following me and say, oh, that doctor said, yeah, right, you don't know who she is. Well, even Michelle's ex-boyfriend acknowledged it. March 27th, 25 after midnight. My car's locked. Then told investigators a few days later. Okay? And then on April 3rd, 2025, down at Dutch Valley, as I go walk out, the heavyset white lady that walked out ahead of me was talking to the guy that walked out behind me. That one of their guys told on him that that's not even one of my doctors. He works for them. And since he told on him, they need to take care of him. I'm pretty sure he's a federal agent. You might want to not threaten him. Okay? Well, some idiot men by the front when I walk by with my grandson. Okay? Trying to pick him up, a few extra little clothes, trying to make him feel good about himself. He's depressed. And at 17, that's scary. Okay? All right. Some idiot man standing by the register heard Will and the boys let her get raped because she told that the police were involved. Making fun of me for being raped. I hope they put you in jail as an accessory. The police told everybody they were involved when the case first started, in uniform. The police are loud, proud people just like the U.S. Marshals, and they're not going to back down from drug dealers. The U.S. Marshals show up, we're here. The police are not afraid of drug dealers, and they have looked at people we helped work that case since the beginning. And then they sold the login within the first 2 months, and so many people have the case, it's not even funny. They were hacked. So are they going to back down from some stupid drug dealer? No. We all help watch her. We work a case that agent opened. That agent went and told Apostolic Church of Barberton that I called the hotline before I spoke to him. He confessed on a recorded line. He spoke to all the churches. Okay? He told over 1,000 people that I called the FBI hotline, confessed on a recorded line that he had met with all of them. Even made fun of me for that some guy named Pete. Then asked me about some weird doctor. Why had some lady use my insurance? Oh, I found out through Michelle's ex-boyfriend. It was one of Dave's girlfriends from before me. They scammed me to get a job at my dad's factory. Had to marry me so she could have free insurance and he could have extra money to give her. My whole marriage was a scam. That's where the heavyset white lady showed up, that he denied that she was even there. They were lying on him. And then all the medical bills that weren't mine. Back then, you didn't have to show ID. Went in and told them your name and address. They looked you up and billed you. You never showed ID for surgeries or nothing. Doctors, even new doctors, you never showed ID. That's how people used to have surgeries on other people's insurance. And if something happened to a person, that's when they got caught. Identity theft and insurance fraud was really big. And Dave and his girlfriend, it was one of his girlfriends, made him marry me so she could have free insurance. Half my medical records are hers. Okay? And so he could give her more money because he only made $80 a week at John Cowgill's, and my brother-in-law Tim was breaking. He made $500 to $1,000 a week or more. Back then in '85, everything's 3 times as much now. It's equivalent of a $155,000 a year job now. That's why he married me, to scam me. And if he would have broke up with me, my dad would have fired him. Kay McMillan wanted to put him in jail for, because she kept saying there's rumors of you cheating, you and this other lady's doing it, and he kept saying they're lying on him. No, I was married to a psychopath that just manipulates everyone. It was him and her. Okay? Well, that's where I thought maybe it was one of her bills. It didn't make any sense. Well, I didn't know the drug scam because I had been drugged up. I didn't know anything. That's where the investigators have told people the only thing Karen knew when the case first started was Dave was threatening her life and her children. She didn't know anything else. They had her that drugged up. They have told people her ex-husband had her so drugged up there, they were drug beating, raping her, and she wasn't realizing what was happening. I was going to the doctor and nobody thought of a rapist. And I had bruises I couldn't explain, giant ones. Muscle pain, migraine, headache, throwing up, almost passing out, and a severe swollen personal area till I couldn't hardly pee. And I'm blaming the dirty well water I'm showering in. And nobody thought of a rapist. I talked to a nurse about it when I found out what was going on. They said, is that what caused all that? Your ex-husband's a vile, sick animal, having people do that to you. All these people are vile, sick animals. Start looking at them for who they are and what they are. Animals. Preying on people in their homes. Up by the register, some lady was talking on the phone to someone. They did tell on them that wasn't even one of her doctors. She doesn't know who he is. Okay. See, they said it again in Walmart 62, where that lady said it at Dutch Valley outside my car spot, where Michelle's boyfriend broke up with her March 27th, 25. I have had different people show up. So, like last night and then on the 27th, I went through everything. From how I got sick, how I got well, to da-da-da-da-da, Strange making up that lie. When he thought I was following Tim and Katie. And then pushing Danny to suicide. And then them nailing my mom's tire, moving away. To the social worker threatening Dave that she take care of him herself. That's probably the only thing that kept me alive. You do realize that, right? to the money disappearing from the safe, and then the attempts on my life, and then just going through everything to moving out there, someone kicking on my door by the 6th day, by the second week, stab around in front of the house collapsing in front of the neighbor, not knowing what's wrong with me, kept happening. Lost 18 pounds before I called the FBI. Never seen or talked to anyone. You talk about scary movie shit, sexual predators spraying on people in their homes like that. When you start looking at a rational mind, it's not funny. Okay? And I went through everything. And then even what happened after I called the FBI. Okay? How that agent told on me, confessed on a recorded line. He told on me, even in front of the police. And then on a recorded line, confessed several times. He told on me. He told over 1,000 people. He combined the churches. He might as well have had a rally in Canton with a blowhorn. Hey everyone, did you know Karen called the FBI hotline with threats on her life? Tell a friend. And the police have always said that they worked the case that agent opened in uniform. They weren't hiding, they were involved. Ever. There are loud, proud people like the U.S. Marshals. We're here. Got a problem? Go to them. The ones that work my case, they'll be in your face. They'll be lucky you don't get arrested. And all they do is scream at you and do the back up thing. Okay? We go to Golden Crow. We're sitting there, and I'm talking to my grandson. And trying to get through to him. I told him, I said, bad things happen. Really bad things happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. Because it happened. And it just is. It is what it is. And sometimes you just have to learn to live around it. And people will come and go out of your life. I said, you'll live another 70 years or more. And over that time, you will have so many people coming in and out of your life. And the ones that really care will stay. Okay? And I told him, I said, Carl, his late wife, was abusive to him. He's a severe diabetic. He has to have dairy. Helps maintain his sugar. And she wanted the cigarettes. So bad that at times she told him he didn't need milk. And he needed it. And she would scream and yell at him in front of people till other people would tell her off. I said, she smoked and would not quit smoking to even save her life. I said, Carl used to sit around and cry. I told him one day, I said, grieving comes from different things. And sometimes it's anger. You need to forgive her for choosing the cigarettes over you. And forgive her for being so mean to you. And then forgive yourself for hating her. And then we're going to put all our pictures up. And you're going to learn just to love the people around you. And embrace them. You got all this family. You got this, that. And found out his family was just ripping them off. Then it's like, forget that one. Tell you people are, well, not all of them. His one daughter's lovely. Love going over to see her. But the other ones are pieces of work. Um, Maybe it's one stepchild is okay, but the other ones, oh my God, that's a whole different drama. Okay. And and Carl told him, he said, she really helped me. She helped me a lot. And I told him, I said, your grandma Nikki that died, she's a severe diabetic. They told her she had to take insulin or she died. To quit smoking or she died. She wouldn't do it. She died. You need to just remember the good times with her. He said, I used to love to play card games with her. And we go over there and we'd help clean up and we do this and that. I loved it. I said, think of her like that. Not the rest. And I said, as far as your papa, he chose he didn't want anybody in his life. He chose it. I said it wasn't just devastating for you, but for everyone. He chose to leave. You need to let him go. He chose not to be here. I said, you still have me. You still have the rest of your family. You have Carl. And I said, and when you get where the point of that you can just be happy within yourself and your surroundings. Sometimes there's nothing to do but watch TV, go for a walk or do this or that. I said, and once you get your license, you can drive. You will have a couple jobs and you'll probably fail at first. It's okay. You'll finally find the right one that fits. And then, same with girls. You'll fall madly in love with the first one. And within a few weeks, you'll hate her. And she'll hate you. And you'll find somebody else you're madly in love with. You start laughing. I said, do you think it's funny? It actually happens that way. I said, and then you'll find another one. And when you find the person that you're looking for, then you'll know it's the right fit. But you gotta learn to build your life. And then the people that are in your life, people will come and go. The ones that love you will always be there. And realize that. And the other ones, you just gotta learn to let them go. It's okay that they go. And there's still life. And there's a lot. I said, you have so much life to live. You have so much to experience. Some guy said, we all know. She's worried about it. I know. Teenage. He told me, he said, I said, is somebody bullying you at school? He said, nobody's bullying me, but there is bullies. I said, bullies are evil, cruel people that are so miserable and so mean that they lash out and hurt other people. He said, what? I said, would you hurt somebody else? He's like, no. I said, why? I said, because they're evil, cruel people inside. And they lash out and hurt others just to do it. Because they're evil. That's why they're bullies. And I said, I'll tell you what, I could stand up in this restaurant. Ask everyone who's been bullied. And everyone here would lift their hands. There's bullies at work. There's bullies at school. You learn to walk away from them. I said, I have been bullied on horrible levels. You learn to walk away from them. We got home and one of the things he hadn't been wanting to do was bathe. I had bought him stuff for his acne on his face, and shampoo and all this other stuff, and some clean clothes. And I told him, I said, tomorrow before I pick you up, I expect your hair washed. You to clean your face, brush your teeth before you go with me. I said, don't make me push you into the shower and turn the shower on. His mom said, well, we could get the garden hose. I said, I'll tell you what. One of my boys refused to bathe, and his brothers took him out with the garden hose and a thing of dish soap, poured it on him. My boys were horrible to each other. And they were 2 years apart. That, yeah. I said, I am too old for this crap. And so is Carl. I looked at him, I said, it's too bad you don't want to get a bath. You're going to get a bath before we go out. And I told my daughter-in-law, I said, you need to, when you go to the store, make him go with you. Make him get out of that room. She said, well, sometimes you don't want to wake up. I said, you look at him, he's 17, you tell him, too bad, get your butt out of that bed. You make him get up. You make him go for rides. You make him get fresh air. You make him come out of his shell. You make him. You tell him, too bad. Just like you get a shower, or I'll put you in that shower with clothes on. And I'll turn on the water and start washing your hair and your face for you. You will not sit there and go dirty. It's just too bad you will wash. It's too bad you will get your temps. It's too bad you will get out and start socializing. You will not lock yourself in a room. It's too bad you're going to learn to live again. A little bit of the tough love with a gentle portion. Okay? My one grandson, I'll tell you a funny story. When he was real little, he was about 8, 9 years old. We always had a rule. They had it, because my ex wanted everybody perfect. They had to get a shower and clean clothes on before we left, because we're going to take him to a restaurant. Well, he went into the shower, came out with a towel wrapped around him. His face is dirty, his hands, his arms. It's like, I thought you took a shower. He said, hey, do you know if you spin around real quick, the water won't hit you and then you're done? Dave looked at me and said, I got this. Back in the shower. Spin around real quick so the water don't hit you. And that's a little boy. God, I'm tired. I'm tired of people making fun of me for being raped. And with that guy that lives in my own apartment saying he was in there defrauding that FBI agent with a fake doctor with a drug confession. And it was one of his religious groups, men that was following me around. That means, and I've seen him since 18. He's a fake Portage County sheriff or a fake FBI agent. They've impersonated law enforcement. That went into my husband's attorney's office and Mark, John, you need to make sure they know it's just a drug scam. There's nothing against me. If they did say something when they walked in. Okay. That means the people that torture me is probably one of his religious group, being impersonating an FBI agent. And he may be one of my rapists. When he said that church is sending out emails asking people to harm me or harass me. And people actually show up. What's wrong with you? You can go to jail for that. And his was one of the first religious groups involved. And he was in there when they were speaking to that agent. And when that agent asked me if I knew anything about this doctor, and she said she didn't even know who he was. I still don't. like Michelle's ex-boyfriend. He's not one of my doctors. He works for them. Like the lady said in Walmart on West Ave. He's not one of our doctors. Like he told after March 27th, 25 after midnight, my card's bugged. A couple of days later, he's out there with another investigator. They lied that it was one of her doctors from before. She doesn't even know who it is. He works for them. Where they said they were getting the amnesia drugs from some doctor. He was giving them the drugs to drug me up. Him and that Peter running drug scams. The FBI in Canton knows who Pete is and that doctor that's running drug scams on people. They know who they are. It's not one of my doctors. The law is doctors cannot tape you unaware. It's cyber stalking. There's HIPAA. Now, you got to even think of their scam. Some doctor is supposed to break the law. They're breaking the law, taping me unaware. Okay? Never happened. My doctors do not go around taping people unaware and would risk going to jail their license. My doctors are not breaking in, giving people amnesia drugs to drug, beat, and rape a woman and drug her up and tell her to say something stupid. My doctors are not evil, vile criminals. Do we understand each other? It's not one of mine. He works for them. Then their scenario that a doctor broke the law, taped underwear, supposed to have confessing to crimes, heinous, evil crimes, and sat on that information till Dave wanted a divorce. Okay, and you would fall for that. That would make him an accessory. Go to jail for an accessory. No doctor of mine has ever asked me of any criminal questions. I would have screamed at them of, who do you think you are? You sicko and pervert, I'm reporting you. And walked out like ladies have even said around me. Everyone would have walked out. Doctors do not ask you of crimes. They are there for medical. They're not criminal investigators. See, these people didn't think this plan out. It's illegal for them to tape you unaware. Not only is it cyber stalking, HIPAA, violation of privacy acts. It's a federal crime. It's right on Google. It's illegal for a doctor to tape you unaware. My doctors aren't going around stalking people. They're not going around drugging people up with a bunch of cocktails of drugs to make them sleepwalk and tell them to say something stupid and let men beat and rape them. My doctors are not rapists. Okay? Do we understand each other? How stupid their plan is? You know, on Thanksgiving of 18, Mel's kids got caught stating in the basement that they made everything up. They were games of pretend, and they wanted the house for Auntie Shaw and Papa. With me calling the FBI, they opened a real case. Police and FBI was following me around. Okay? My car was legally bogged. Protected custody case with statements in a court order. Okay? And they got taped in an FBI case saying it. Okay? And when I went to John, I asked him what's going on. He's like, I don't know, Mom. I told Melissa you're going through a divorce. I'm going to be moving out. She'll have the kids make up something, but don't worry about it. Nobody could say anything bad about you. She'll just have him make it up because I told him you're going through a divorce and moving out. She'll probably have her church people make up something too. But don't worry about it. Nobody could say anything bad about you. It's just going to be made up. I said, well, you shouldn't have said anything till it happened. He said, well, I did. And since it's just going to be made up and no one can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it. Okay? Went to Dave. I've never hurt anyone. He said, Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. Okay? Went to Danny and Jen about the shower scene in the other room, Christmas Eve of 22. They knew I had bruises, throwing up, and almost passing out in front of people. But they weren't part of people drugging me for fake confessions and raping me. And they didn't know about a shower scene or washing yourself in the shower that they clicked and pasted into another room in their own perverted stocking tapes. And in their own perverted stocking tapes, I've heard have drugged me up and told me to say weirdo stuff and laughed in my face and confessed several times in front of the police and vets, and they already know that. Okay? That I'm framed by these people. It's already documented. Okay? I went to Josh, he defended me, his girls, the twins defended me. Okay? John even asked me to babysit Kenzie Carrington on 19, but I was working 2 jobs and I couldn't just quit one. I could barely survive because they were just Melissa's mean games of pretend. Like my one client on October 5th, 21, who's that crazy Melissa, they all talk about lying. Everywhere we go. It's like my ex-husband's ex-girlfriend, friend, my ex-husband's, okay, it's my daughter-in-law that's friends with my ex-husband's girlfriend that had the kids make up some mean games of pretend in front of the police. He's like, she's crazy. They're still talking about it. I know. Even FBI agents in 18 had a huddle with the police in the front of Walmart 62. Why are they having those kids make all that shit up? Well, they're just trying to scare her out of the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. That was Thanksgiving of 18, and those were federal agents. The same ones, March 23rd, 23, yelled at these people. We told these people to stay out of this. We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. Nobody's ever seen anything. She never hurt anyone. And it's just some lady thought she could make money out of it. I think that some lady was a lady that walked out ahead of me. Heavyset white woman that threatened Michelle's ex-boyfriend that they need to take care of him for telling on him that it's not even one of my doctors. I'm pretty sure he's a fed. You might want to restate that. And she even verified that it's not one of my doctors. Okay? Okay? And they were threatened to take care of him. Okay. So we're going to put it this way. When they got around to arresting Judge Peter from Florida, where they showed up were drug traders, human traffickers from Florida. We work for Judge Peter. We're relocating people to Florida to a resort area. When they arrested Judge Peters in Florida, it was Disney. And there, where the other group said that we are the men that work for the king from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. If you look him up, he's a fentanyl king. U.S. military Iraqi translator went into the dark web malware. Fentanyl king. He's a hacker with military training. Iraqi, that's why they're Middle Eastern. Okay? The ones that helped out with him. There was a pipeline between Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. They were selling people and they were scouring Ohio for more victims. Okay. There's real people when they do the rest. It explains who they are by the way they describe themselves. Okay. This lady, now I want you to think about this. In Judge Peters' arrest, they said they had an undercover lady officer that could pass for 14 to 16, and Judge Peters sold her pornography. That was one of the things they took him down for besides human trafficking. Now, this lady, now I have talked to criminal attorneys. Dave can't hire anybody on his own. Nobody could be in my home. It's the Fourth Amendment. But protected custody cases with statements in a court order without a conflict of interest. Stark County Prosecutor's Office, Portage County Sheriff's, and police. Okay? Nobody can be in my home. It's the law, and it's how the law is wrote. But protected custody cases with statements without a conflict of interest in a court order. Okay? Now, where even the police, the sheriffs in 21 were talking about some guy named Kurt finding out those kids were lying. He's low. They have announced in different stores, different towns, that even when people look her up on the police, that they're documenting mean jokes. She may have mean games to pretend during an FBI case, trying to scare me into giving up my house. They were showing off for the new girlfriend. She could have went to jail for obstruction. Okay? Now that lady knows that. And she can't be a criminal attorney. Because I'll tell you what, I talked to a real one. A real one. Dave can't hire anybody. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? And if some lady thought she could make money on it, you better hope she's not an undercover police officer trying to get people in an extortion ring. I thought about that one the other day. Because if not, it's just riffraff playing with you, trying to get you arrested. Or they said they were setting my kids up to be arrested. They're just trying to get them locked up for the fun of it. See, either that lady's a plant or she's riffraff. Trying to find out who's in the extortion ring. Because a real attorney know that. And when they talk about Karen's will, who is Karen's will? Well, my real Karen's will is a grumpy, mean FBI agent. But the one they're talking about is a guy, Pete, Dave hired on his own. The drug and gang unit in Stark County Courthouse, the FBI drug and gang unit, they would know who he is. And that doctor. He's not one of mine. No doctor of mine asked me of any criminal questions. I would have screamed at him and walked out like Lady said anybody would have. It's ridiculous. Anybody thinking a doctor would ever ask you of crimes. They're there for medical. They don't tape you unaware. That's illegal. They go to jail. And then you're trying to say they sat on heinous crimes for years and was an accessory? See, they didn't plan their scam out. That doctor's just giving them amnesia drugs to use on people. High doses of Valium mixed with other drugs. They found the concoction. He's breaking in people's homes, drugging them up, and letting people drug beat and rape them, human traffic them under drugs. Drug them up, tell them to say something stupid, lie to people. He's one of their doctors, and the person don't even know who they are. And they don't know what happened to him. Or do they see or talk to him? You basically are talking to somebody who was roofied. Just like my neighbor Mike, when he told people he was an astronaut, tried to tell me he was a New York cop, stoned out of his mind. And then a rape victim that had been beaten, raped. And where that guy in my old apartment, he knew that wasn't my doctor. He knew they were defrauding that agent. How many times over the years have they confessed they drugged me and told me to say it before? They think if they keep putting a different name on it, it'll make it different. Some guy showed up today. He said, I told these people I never believed some doctor taped her before of any crimes. They're not allowed. It's illegal. You're arrested. HIPAA. Privacy Acts. Cyber stalking. And it's not my doctor. Nor did I ever talk to him. How would they ever explain that? See, where it never goes anywhere, but these people harass me, why doesn't it go anywhere? Because it's illegal. That's where my boyfriend was watching this police show. Even tonight. They went to ask this doctor, I want to ask you a question about one of your patients. He said, you know better. I can't talk to you about anything they said to me. They're not allowed to disclose. They're sworn to only work for you. See what I mean? Get an idea. See, that's where people were complaining last year, where I had all that medical malpractice and medication errors. People were complaining, are they saying that some doctor that almost killed her before actually worked for them and had drugged her up and told her to say it before? And he had already tried to kill her with that medication? Boy, was that a reality check. It's not one of my doctors from before. Don't even know who it is. It's just one of Pete's friends. Running drug scams on people. So when I'm out with my grandson, I look at him and I see the scared little 10-year-old boy that I was trying to calm down when Dave kept saying I wouldn't be there anymore. And didn't understand why Grandma kept disappearing. And then other ones died. And then he fled. Now he's 17 and he don't even know how to act. He handled it by shutting himself in his room after school, and that's all he did. Trying to get him out of his shell. Because if it don't work, I'll have to get him counseling. Have my new husband take him down and have him work on the farm, get him some fresh air and sunshine. Realize there's still life out there. So he can get his own job, get his own license. Get a car. He's going to graduate next year. What did you people think you were actually going to do? See, I've looked. What did you think you really accomplished here? Besides, you sold a bunch of drugs and you sold a bunch of people here with the human traffickers. But as far as me and my husband, we got rid of Dave out of our lives forever. Thank you. We're safer that way. Like some guy said in Golden Crow, we all know that idiot was threatening to kill everyone. I know that. Why do you think I laid my life down to save him? Was raped, tortured, skull busted in, human trafficked, drugged till I lost 70 pounds, almost shot in the head driving. Oh, and by the way, we're going to put it this way, and then that gunshot night, if you don't have the case and you don't know about that shooting night, you're not police. You're not an investigator. You're a riffraff. I had a lady investigator show up in 22. Karen's okay anymore. I found the protected custody case. And the guy said, well, It's documented and verified. The agent that returned her phone call from the FBI hotline is the one that told on her to all those churches. Oh my Lord, and they walk out. Well, that lady showed up within a few months, went through the case. That minister should have died in prison for bringing those people here. They better be paying her. She was part of a big bust. Thousands went to jail off this. So that's where even, 21? I was getting my hair done at Shine. Or was it 22? Some lady came in and said, we went and spoke to her old neighbor. That gunshot night actually happened. Oh my Lord. And they walked out. There's a video in the FBI case under police surveillance. So you're not police. You don't have it? Then you don't even have the case where they're selling it. Scam artist. Because you're no investigator. And you're no law enforcement. Because in I went in the gas station at that Jalosville. There was people from up there in Ravenna down here asking people to help protect me. Okay? They were asking. Told of the home invasion and people being killed. There was other people here that said they lost their families. Or they had got hurt. And they were hoping I could get them help if they stuck near me. I tried. My God, I've tried for years. Okay? Went in the gas station. Some lady I got to know by talking to her. She said, you know how people come in and talk all the time? You're not the only one that talks of a home invasion in another town and people being killed. Because the victims' families were here. And they were actually asking people to help protect me. October 5th, 21, in Macy's, I walked by the Asian lady that said her husband died. She was talking to another Asian couple. I told those people to stop saying stuff to her. I found out she got beat trying to get us help. I got tortured. And more likely, since it was his religious group, the fake FBI agent that tortured me is probably someone from his religion. And where that guy said he was the first religious group, he's probably one of my rapists that lives in my old apartment. I need Officer Marvin John. And I need my money. I'd like to retire. I'm 58. I may look 40, but I'm 58. I'm going to be 58 here in about 2 months. 2 or 3 months. I'd like to be able to go pick up my grandson, take him out with my new husband. When it gets summertime, take him down to his farm, let him rake hay, bale hay, get some exercise and some sunshine. See if I can't bring him out of his shell. Some guy had said the other day, we told people not to say anything to her. She takes care of people like him. I do. I take care of clients from the Department of Disability. But I know I can only do so much. And if it doesn't work, you have to look for professional help. But sometimes it's just realizing there's still life. You just gotta find it and learn to live within the life that you have. It's scary. And then for a child, that's overwhelming. So when you're being assholes to me for being a drugged up rape victim, that some idiot drugged me up and told me to say something stupid, some pervert took a video of me washing myself in the shower and photoshopped that in the other room in his own perverted tapes, and had some idiot roofing me and tell me to say something stupid and it had beat and raped me and I had no memory of anything? You want to make fun of somebody that somebody's drugging up and raping and playing with? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And Officer Marker John, I do, if you have to go to a judge in Stark County, go to a judge. Tell him how that agent told on me on a recorded line for calling the FBI. He fed me to the drug cartel. The police, the FBI, and U.S. Marshals got thousands of meat off of the drug dealers. They had to help out in this. They got thousands. They saved hundreds. She's been raped, tortured, skull bashed in, almost murdered several times. And they just fed her to him. And they didn't even give her money. And they told on her for calling the hotline on a recorded line. And just fed her to him. He'll order my money. I'd like to retire. You know, I wanted to help Josh and Dixie. But after Dixie acting like she can't even look at my new sweet husband. We're only 20 years apart. And he's a sweet, kind man that his family took advantage of. And a kind man. And she ought to be ashamed. And the first time somebody would yell, boo, she'd pass out, stutter, and have to be hospitalized. Because she would cry till she passed out because she couldn't handle them threatening me. See, she's the kind of moron that somebody would say, hey, you could extort money out of her. Okay, I'll go along with it. We'll get her. I'll get me some free money. And when they look at her and say, we actually go to jail for that, she'd try to kill herself and get locked up in the hospital. And then lay there for 6 months going, ugh. Daybreak, they had people up there to her. And that they went to the wrong house. And that I was target practice. Scared her so bad, she cried till she passed out and fell down the steps. Laid there and crying and stuttering. Do you know how many times I had to go down there and yell at her and told her she wasn't allowed to cry over what they were doing to me? That it was happening to me and not her. But see what I mean? Like my one neighbor said, she has a lot of issues. But see, that's a kind of arrogant, stupid people that want attention of feel sorry for me because she got hurt. Oh, you can extort money out of her? Sweet. I want some. Brain dead losers. People that are that arrogant and rude. You know, I'd probably help make sure Crystal got to go to college in Florida. And I know I'd help Danny and Jen. Her mom died. Still trying to settle her estate. But people that I just gave Josh, his was acting like his one truck wasn't running good. He has to drive 40 miles to work. I was afraid to get stuck in the snow. So my hard-earned money that I've been saving, I gave him $4,400 at Christmas. My money. Did he buy me anything for Christmas? No. Huh? And then she can't even look at me. She can't even look at me. She can't say hello to my sweet husband. She took my money. I don't even think they fixed his car. I don't think they bought a used cheap one either. I think they blew it. My hard-earned money. And then were rude to me. Eye-opener. And I don't believe my oldest John would ever extort money out of anybody. He makes over $150,000 a year. He has a ton of money. Been making money like that for probably 15, 20 years. He doesn't need it. And he's not the type to extort money out of people. See what I mean? It takes somebody. You can never extort money. See, that's where the whole thing of it is. It's racketeering when you try to extort money. You have to literally fall on somebody's property. You have to be bit by their dog, hit by a car, tractor, whatever. You know what I mean? Actual injuries and proven that it's their fault. Or their dog. See what I mean? You just can't make up mean jokes. And nothing ever happens because the police and the FBI flat out looks at everybody and say, we caught him saying it. Like Officer John said, well, those kids get caught stating. They made everything up. Like Flora told a bunch of adults, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games to pretend. They released it last week in Alliance in Myers, North Maine, of them saying they made everything up. And then the FBI agents telling people they interviewed my whole family. She never heard anyone. Nobody ever seen anything. It was just some lady thought she could make money off of it. And that none of this is funny. They even have Melissa's telling them to lie. And friends with Michelle. They're documenting mean jokes. Like the FBI said, they were just trying to scare her out of giving up her house. It's not like they said a month ago in Walmart 62. The police taped those kids saying they were lying a long time ago. Exactly. So the FBI. You don't get money out of mean jokes. Stalking tapes from perverts of drugged confessions and photoshopping and washing. That's racketeering, sextortion, cyberstalking. Go to jail. That's 20 to 40 years in prison. You can never try to extort money out of people. Officer John and Mark, or whatever sheriff's listening to me, if you would go to a Stark County judge and explain to them, they would reorder my money. I almost died. And where they said on TV the despicable act of some law enforcement feeding women and children back to drug dealers to get the drug dealers should never happen, but it's happening. And how that agent told him, tell him how much I lived through. And he told everyone he already knew I was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care. Then tried to act like he was going along with the strangest baby lie. When it was a medication. If you go tell a judge, they'll reorder my money. You need it. My family needs me. I'm going to upload this.